Good evening, YouTube, and Merry Christmas Eve. As a special gift for you guys, I wanted to start a new series called Pretender or Contenders. And today we're going to be looking at decks that will probably have an impact on the format or may not have an impact at all, thus being called Pretender or Contender. I would not like to take full credit for this new series that I've started, because Mikkel Lorison is actually the person that got me thinking about this. So let's get down to the game. Today we're going to be talking about vampires. A very interesting deck, but it just leaves so much more to be desired. As you can see, this Insector player, he just goes ham on turn 1 with a 3400 beater, and the only thing I can do is set. Not really much else I can do other than that, is just protect myself from the beginning. Obviously, I already know it's going to be a grind game, and in the grind game, vampires do really good at protecting that back row and getting out its crucial plays and critical plays to the field. This time I go into Adrius to destroy my opponent's cards and then gets over some stuff. Mainly I'm setting this up, getting rid of his Gigamantis so he won't be able to special summon again. I know that I have the back row advantage. I called his bluff. I figured it was a Mirror Force, but I wasn't really like shaky. The special summoned Vampire Lord was a mistake. I don't know why I did it, because after I special summoned, I was like, what was I thinking? But still, in the end, I came down with winning the game. He got me with the Mirror Force right there, but I had the Solemn Warning. Now, the biggest thing that people forget is that vampires have a very sneaky card in a field spell card called Vampire's Empire. As long as one of my zombie monsters send a card from the deck to the graveyard, I can destroy anything I want. So it was pretty good at getting the threatening roar to the graveyard and stuff. But the deck just seems too slow for my liking, for anyone's liking. I don't know. Maybe it was just my build. Maybe it needs a little bit more work. But right now, I'm not so hot on vampires as of right now. Let's go into Vampire Video 2. Maybe we can get a little bit more insight on this one. This game, he's playing some extremely weird samurais, and also, yet again, I can only set face downs. Like, this deck is so reliant on setting up and getting your pivotal plays into your hand beforehand. That allows your opponent to already surmount a comeback before you can even mount anything onto your side of the field. As you can see, he's holding Mirror Force and double-edged sword technique. We're in turn 8, and nothing has ever happened. This seems like it's going to be a long game. But when you come down to the clutch, you really have to go back to Vampire's Empire, a card that really does get there when it does get there. Now, another thing that I've noticed about vampires is that even though he didn't bottomless, compulse, blah 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 me or whatever, and he had the Solemn Warning, this deck is extremely vulnerable to cards like bottomless, deep prison, compulse. So I decided to opt in to put in Forbidden Lance, but it really doesn't help. Ultimately, you just need to get over the compulse and the deep prisons, because Vampire Lord should take care of all the other work for you. Mainly because when it's destroyed, it just comes right back. This is a really good deck. Tier 2 type, maybe. Tier 1, hell no. I definitely wouldn't put it anywhere near that. It does make some pretty neat plays, but as you guys can see, it's nothing like genuinely over there. I think that they're missing a couple more vampires to make this deck remotely good. Game 3. Ooh, and I'm going to be playing against, oh, he drew horrible, I see. And I thought, I don't know, you always have to predict your opponent draws good. He drew into his Meltion, which has had me at bay for a while, just poking at him. And he had 3 Pot of Duplicities. Like, who runs 3? Like, that's hurtful. That's not even cool. He did hold the Gores to a significant amount of time, from what I know. So he did a pretty good job right there. He's a pretty good player. He just didn't have the hand to compensate, and like some of his tech choices were very weird, like Bait Doll, Reckless Greed. Yeah, it's just like a couple of them. I was like, what? Lightning Vortex? You really don't need all that stuff in the Mystic Piper build. But nevertheless, still, once again, zombies cannot set up the board properly, even when given the chance to. Even when they have critical openings like this, you still can't set up a surmountable field to just dominate the opponent. This is a time where your opponent had a horrible hand, and I definitely could have completely destroyed him. But other than going into the Vampire Realm, which is not the most amazing thing since sliced bread, it's pretty good. It's just, and it stays just right there. On the next note, there was nothing that I can special summon from his graveyard that would have been worthy of the Vampire Bram summon. And then other than that, you only have Adrias. In conclusion, this deck is really limited to only special summoning Dark Exceeds. And as soon as the Dark Exceeds come out, then maybe we might be able to get something else better. But until then, it's just another reason why this deck can't flourish under any format. This is where he quits, because he realizes that I still have my Shadow Vampire I've been holding for who knows how long. And yes, I was going to win on the following turn. Just going to, oh, actually, he did have Lightning Vortex, but, I mean, come on. 3 Duplicities, a Karkardi. I have Typhoon, Lance, Sorcerer, Vampire, Duke, and it's going to be my turn again for a draw. I highly doubt that he would have even got close to tying the game. But if you ask me, Vampires, they're pretenders. Even with the triple Mizuki, it's just not really a good deck. You could play the Plague Spreader Zombies if you want, but I just found them just totally inconsistent and not necessary. Another thing that this deck has a problem with is that it can't get over monsters that are over 2,500, like Ophion, and stop and lock down opponents. It has a huge problem with back row, and then just bigger monsters are extremely hard to get rid of unless you can try to find a way to mill your opponent's graveyard. Looking at the other vampires, they're all, especially the level 6 lady, mainly because she's a level 6 lady. Like, why would you throw a level 6 monster into a deck that comprises of level 5 monsters? It makes no sense. And then the other ones are just bad. But thank you guys for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. Please let me know your opinion on this vampire deck. I really think that it could have a potential, just a little more work, maybe a little tweaks, and possibly even a different build. But it is definitely not a contender so far.